First of all, my name is Andy Thompson, and I'm one of the marketing specialists here with Global Restoration in Jasper. And I want to thank everybody for coming out, taking the time. We've had several drove all the way from Atlanta like Penny, so thank you very much. One of the reasons we put this on every year, this is our third annual event, is obviously to let people know about Global Restoration, about what our company does and how we do things. But one of the main reasons is to try to make our community a safer and better place to live. And we do this in collaboration with, this is Pickens County Fire Marshal Curtis Clark. And of course the Tate Fire Department guys are outside to make sure we don't cause any real disasters here. And we have several partners here today. And Christy Davis, she is with CRDN. And good. I'm dyslexic sometimes. So, right, Sean. This is Sean Leonard with EnviroClean. Sean, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Basically, our company is involved in protocols, upfront testing for air quality. Specifically, at the moment, involved in mold. We're coming up front, do the inspection, investigation. Write up the necessary protocols so that people like Global Restoration can go and do the job properly and clean it up. And then we come back post-test, make sure that the levels are at the standards that are expected. So basically we're just doing the upfront and behind testing for Global.
Thank you, Sean. And Christy, I didn't mean to skip over. You tell us a little bit about CRDN.
Yes, thank you. I hate my back to people, so I'll just come over here with Sean if I could.
Sure.
Basically, in a nutshell, CRDN is the acronym for Certified Restoration Dry Cleaning Network. And really, after fire, smoke, water, mold, what have you, we will come in within a 24-hour period, contact the homeowner, come in and get all the textiles, clothing, bedding, any soft textiles other than like furniture. And we will carry it to our off-site plant, process it, and really serve as like an off-site closet for the homeowner. Now, we are a franchise system. We've actually been around since 2002, but my company has been doing it for over 20 years. We have approximately 140 franchises in the US, UK, and Canada, which a lot of people don't know. And CRDN was actually the first to standardize textile restoration. So anyway, I have some cards, lots of goodies. You saw the brains, the stain sticks, and that sort of thing. But just stop by because I certainly don't want to take it back with me, okay?
Thanks, Christy. And I was telling somebody one of those brains out there are actual size for some of us. So, but once again, we've got some people coming a little bit later. Commission Chair Rob Jones is coming, and Mayor Weaver couldn't be here this morning, but sends his best to everybody. And one of the things that we're trying to do, we're going to show a short PowerPoint about Global, is are you ready for a disaster? Have you made a plan? Have you prepared? And are you able to respond? American Red Cross, Joni Smith from the chapter, and Penny Aaron is a local volunteer here. We learned after Katrina, I say we because I retired from Red Cross, that if you could be self-sustaining for 2 or 3 days till help arrives, then you can make the situation much easier to deal with. The EMS and the fire departments and police departments have really spoiled us. All we know is we've got to dial 3 numbers and we got help in a matter of minutes. But in case of a large spread disaster, those minutes can turn to hours or even days, depending on the size of the disaster. So we're going to show a little bit, give you a little capsule glance of what Global Restoration does. Harrison, you want to hit the video? And I'm going to save y'all the task of me reading all these things. But we talked about preparation, preparedness, and response. And these gives you some before and after pictures of some of the homes that we've done. We also do a lot of commercial work too. Okay. So as you can see, what we're talking about, these are some statistics that we have nationally. Curtis, how many fires have we had, structure fires in Pickens this year so far?
I've investigated 24.
24.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but for a county of less than 30,000 people, that's you can imagine a county in Cherokee or Forsyth or Hall or Fulton, how many fires that they have there. So you can see that just every few seconds, really, there's a fire. We have a chart that, go to the next chart, please, Harrison. There you go. One of the things that we're going to talk about today is the use of sprinkler systems in homes. Most people think of sprinkler systems as strictly for commercial use, which a lot of fire codes require it. But for homes, if you'll notice, the big problem is cooking. And for y'all that have wives that actually use the stove, you will understand that that's where your fires can usually generate from. So almost 50% of all house fires start in the kitchen area. So what we're going to see later today, this morning, is we're going to have two rooms. One that we set fire and that does not have a sprinkler, and then the next one we set fire and shows you how rapidly a sprinkler system can put the fire out. Sprinkler goes off at 155 degrees, is that right, Curtis?
Correct.
And doesn't take very long for a fire, even a very small fire, to reach that temperature. So this gives you an idea of the regular causes of fires. These are mostly residential, but could also pertain to commercial fires. Okay, Harrison? And of course, you know, the kitchen is the number one culprit, and like any home, whether there's 2 or 4 or 6 or 8, the kitchen is usually the focal point of what goes on in a family home. People gather there. If you ever had a party at your house, you know, most people hang around the kitchen more than they do the living room. So this is a prime example of a stove gone wrong. Okay? All right. So here it shows before and after. In the picture here is our CEO, president, owner, Jonathan Schooler. Jonathan's right here with the tie on. And this is a home that had burned. And then we put our main goal for you insurance people and adjusters or agents is to put the facility back to pre-loss condition. That's our goal. Whatever it takes, we are capable of doing this. Whether it's mold, fire, water, whatever, or a combination of all of those. Now, that's our goal. And if you have a happy customer, we have a happy customer, then that means they renew pretty soon. So, next. So, added value of what we do, once again, is there's cost savings involved. We have a required protocol on how to repair buildings, whether it's water damage, mold, or fire, whatever it is that we go by. And then we can get people like Sean to come in. If there's mold, they test before. Then after we complete the work, he comes back in and tests to make sure that the work is done properly and that you are mold free. Okay? And this gives you an idea. I won't go through all these different steps, but there are basically 7 steps to how we approach all our different projects. And regardless of whether it's mold, fire, water, whatever it is, once we start, we have a project manager that's in charge of that facility. And of course, the theory is the less hands on a claim, the better off you are. So our project manager will oversee every step of the way of the mitigation, repair, and back to pre-loss condition. And as one of the things that we do, I think really separates us from a lot of places, is we have a log book in each facility. As anybody that comes in must log in who they are, why they're there, what time they get there, and what time they leave. So if you're away at work all day and you come in that afternoon, you wonder, well, I can't tell if anything's been done or has anybody been here today. All you have to do is open that log book and it'll show you exactly who's been there, what they did, and how long they were there. So not many companies go to these details, but we feel it's important for you, the customer, and you, the agent, to know that we are doing what we said we'd do when we'll do it. Okay? Once again, what it matters is how we respond, how quickly. We are capable, when our guys get a call, whether it's 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning, they have basically 2 minutes to respond to call the client back. And we try to respond to anything within about an hour and a half radius from here. And we have guys on call with trucks ready to go. They're all stocked. You'll see as you tour our facility some of the equipment that we use to clean up the mess and put the house back to where it was before the loss. Okay? Community outreach. One of the things that we're really proud of, and I'll say this as not to be patronizing, but John's been really progressive and aggressive about us reaching back to the community. A lot of companies do not. And as an old Red Crosser, I can tell you it really makes a difference. Every year here in Pickens County, Habitat for Humanity, we do 2 roofs for 2 houses they build each year. We're big supporters of the American Red Cross, and John's still on the board of directors for our local chapter. And we help with the golf outings, and of course there's always a little fun with some of our work too. And some of our guys help volunteer and do things. And they've allowed me to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce board in the local Rotary. So we really give back and reach out to make our community a better, safer place to live. Okay? And this gives you a perfect example. As you come through our lobby, you'll see 2 or 3 pictures of before and after. And when people, after they've experienced a fire, they walk through their facility and they think, good Lord, will this ever look the same? And as you can see, it can look the same, if not better, after we finish. Okay, and this is an outside shot of before and after. So you can tell there's a big difference. And once again, this is a picture of their house before and after as the clients are happily smiling on the outside. Same kind of situation. So whether it's a tornado or a fire or water or whatever the damage is, we can come in and repair it. That's the kitchen that we looked at earlier in the presentation. These show our certifications. We really take a lot of pride. John really stresses education for our guys, continuously going back to classes to become certified, and whether it's water mitigation, mold, or whatever the thing is. We're now doing, not very pleasant to talk about if y'all saw the coroner van out front, but we do crime scene cleanup and those kind of biohazard type things that require certain certifications before a company's allowed to do that. And thank you. What we'll do, let me give you a little brief idea, then I'll take any questions you might have. Is what we're going to do is divide up into basically 2 groups, and we'll have a guide to go with you, and then they'll take you through. We have a water mitigation room and a mold room, and then we have a smoke room out here. You'll go through. We're going to actually flood the room. We'll show the imitation mold that we have, and then the real smoke out here. It gives you a hands-on idea of what the situation looks like when we get there, how we mitigate the circumstances, and put it back to pre-loss. Questions? John, you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. We appreciate you coming out. Once again, just to kind of reiterate what Andy was saying, we're a company that believes in training and education for our people. We want our people to have training before they get to your customer's house. They know how to respond. They know how to handle these situations, because who you entrust your business with could cost you or save you thousands of dollars, and it's all about response time, training, and education. So thank you guys for coming out today. We've kind of set it up as an open house format. We want you to kind of visit our facility, see our training facility, see what our men go through before they get to your customer's house. I want to thank Andy. Obviously, he does a fantastic job for us, and the rest of my staff and our partners that made this happen today. We worked hard at this. We got a great show. Our goal is every year to make this a little better for you, and it's going to be hard to top this. I think you'll enjoy the live fire demonstration. We did not do that last year, so we thank the fire department for coming out and helping us with this. I think you're really going to learn something with that. But these are the men and women that respond to your claims and your customers. This is Bill. He's our business development specialist, so he'll go out and visit agents, adjusters, works on the community outreach for us. This is Steve Yoder. He is our general manager, so he oversees a lot of these projects and just kind of leads and oversees the day-to-day operations. This is Roger. He's one of our quality control guys. He's constantly visiting job sites, dropping things off, picking things up, material for us. This is Rick Eubanks. He's hiding over there, but Rick is one of our project managers. Does a fine job for us. After we contract with your client, Rick would take the project and help put it back to pre-loss condition. Some of the other guys are scattered around, but Tommy, he's another one of our project managers. Same thing as Rick, and then Steve Strong. He's over there by the fire building. You can't see him, but he's a great asset to us. He's a guy that's always there for us, and he's a quality control. There's Scotty over there hiding. He's one of our first responders, as well as Ray. So these two guys are going to be the ones typically that would respond to that call. And he's going to meet with your client. And we're big on, once again, training, but also the true understanding of what that client is going through, and that genuine compassion and understanding of what we can do to help you out. So Ray, Scotty does a lot of that, and then there's some other guys scattered around here, but I'm sure they'll introduce themselves to you. So this is Harrison. He's another one of our business development specialists. He's visiting us from our Ohio office. We have an office in Ohio and one in Indiana. We do a lot of the same type of things there as we do here. And there's Kevin Shaw. He's one of our mitigation specialists. Kevin has an incredible resume. Kevin actually coordinates and oversees the fire jobs, the water jobs, the mold jobs. He's certified, IICI certified in all those different facets of our business. And he's one of the top, I think, 20% with his certifications of all the mitigation specialists out there. So Kevin will tell you we're constantly pushing education, training to our people. So enjoy it today. Thank you for coming out. If I haven't met you, I'll make sure I try to get around to meet you, but I think I've met most of y'all and enjoyed it. So any other questions or concerns anybody has? This is Travis, by the way. I'm sorry, he was hiding over there. That's another one of our project managers. So he's another guy that would coordinate and oversee one of the projects. So thank you guys. Andy, anything else?
Crystal? Crystal came in a little bit late. I mentioned your company.
Oh, thank you.
Stand up right quick. Her company is Contents Only, and they're the ones that have provided the grand prize raffle, the 42-inch LED TV. So, Crystal, tell us just a little bit about what your company does, please.
Only Contents, we're actually in 5 states. We're in Ohio, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, Florida, South Carolina, and Georgia. We are content specialists. That's all we do. We do contents in fire, water, smoke, or mold damage. We pack them out. We take them to our facility in Tucker. It's a 45,000 square foot facility that's designed only to clean, store contents. That's all we do is contents.
Yeah, and they do a tremendous job for us, as well as CRDN. I don't know if you talked about.
I did just briefly, but yes, and we appreciate the opportunity to be here today and partner with you guys. So.
We partner up with what we feel is the best because we want to put out a great product to your clients. So we partner up with resources. So in a fire, there's different facets of a fire. First is your initial response, and that's where we come in, we assess the damage. We get the clothing out of there that's salvageable. That's where they come in. The contents, that's where they come in. Crystal, her company, they come in, grab the contents, what they can salvage. They bring them back to their warehouse, they clean it. Electronics, we partner up with another company that does that. They're not here today, but that's another great company that comes in, and if there's electronics in the house that we can salvage, they clean it and they can get it back to pre-loss condition. And then you'll have your structural cleaning, your mitigation, and then your rebuild. So there's several different facets of the fire, and we want everyone to know that we have the resources to respond 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We always have somebody on call. Same with these guys, same with these guys. They're partners of ours. So in that fire, it's 3 in the morning, it's 5 in the morning, it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be there, everybody's going to respond. So that's the kind of reassurance we want to give you and your team. So Anything else, Andy? Thank you.
I think that's it. If we just everybody make our way out, we'll divide up into basically 2 groups, and then when we get through the little tour, we'll come back in here, hear Curtis, and then we'll do the actual fire. Okay? Thank y'all.
Yes, Felix. Know how to do it.
These sponges are actually a dry sponge. There's no chemicals in them whatsoever. But as you take this and wipe it down this wall, it's just smearing the soot. So that's giving me the indication on my first response. I'll actually cut these up in little squares and do testing in areas so that when I bring the crew in to do the cleaning after the pack out's done, we know what materials to bring with us. In this case, we'll know that the chem sponge is not going to work. So we'll bring in degreasers, regular sponges, scrub brushes, and things like that to start cleaning this down. But before we would start cleaning, you'll see that maybe this homeowner wasn't very clean to begin with, and all these cobwebs around. These are not actually cobwebs from spiders. During the combustion of a fire, any incomplete combustion turns into soot. Soot floats around in the air, circulates around, becomes magnetically charged. Those magnetically charged particles start to accumulate together, creating these webs, structures, and things like this on the walls. So one of the first things I always hear is, sorry about the condition of my house. I didn't realize I had so many cobwebs. So I explain this to the homeowners. It's not necessarily that you're poor housekeeping. This is the way the fires operate. You'll see here we have a cutout of this wall. This material, the soot that you're seeing in here, is actually behind the drywall and on the insulation. So a lot of times if we get a real heavy sooted area, what we're going to do is we're going to cut a hole into the wall and check the wall cavity to see if we need to remove the wall or if it's just going to be cleanable and patch that area that we just did the inspection in. You'll see up in the cupboards and things like this, there's a lot of smoke webbing. The soot gets into the cabinet, swirls around, gets the dishes all dirty. That's when we call in the pack out company, contents only. They would come in, inventory everything, get it packed up for us, get it out of the way. That way we can start the cleaning process. The longer the soot stays on the wall, the less chance that we have to actually get it cleaned. So we try to get to that process as quickly as we can. Same with any content items. Soot will etch glass, stainless steel, windows, any fine finishes. The soot can harm it. So we try to get that off as quickly as we can. Basically with carpeting, pad, things like that, we'll get that out of the way as quickly as we can to help with odor control. We'll set up hydroxyl generators or ozone generators to start the deodorization process of the structure. Once everything is clean, then we go into the process of sealing the walls and getting it ready for reconstruction. Any questions? Okay. Now everybody go ahead and feel free to take your tie-back suits home with you, and when the leaves fall this year, stuff them, dress them up in some little clothes, put them out in the front yard, you got yourself a scarecrow.
Hope everybody's enjoyed what they've seen so far. Give you a little bit of an idea of what global restoration, what we do, and how capable we are of doing it. Now for the feature attraction. Curtis Clark is a longtime friend of mine. He was the fire chief here in Tate for years. He is now the arson investigator and fire marshal for Pickens County. So Curtis, take it away, okay?
I'm going to walk over here so I can see the screen. Again, I want to thank Andy for inviting me to come speak to y'all again this year. I really appreciate it. The topic that essentially I chose today is the change in severity of home fires. Why are they more severe now? Why do they burn more now than they used to? The process of the fire evolving, we're going to demonstrate that out here a little bit. The construction of the home depicts how the fire is going to spread through it. If you go to the next slide. In the 70s, we dealt with 1,650 square foot houses on the average. Small homes, one story. Sometimes they had a basement, most of the time they did, ranch style. 2012, we're dealing with 2,500 to 3,500 square foot homes, 2-story or 3-story.
Makes a big difference in what you're dealing with initially. Next slide. Inside, you had very confined spaces. You had small hallways. You had low ceilings, doors on every room. Created fireboxes, you wanted to say. Now, with the new homes, very open spaces, multi-story foyers. They're just more open. Less amount of doors to stop the flame spread. What we have in the house, this is normal contents of a home. But what we're putting in there now are not the natural cottons, the natural fibers, the wood. We're putting synthetic products in there. Products that are made of petroleum products, plastics. All these things increase the fire load. The way we build them, we create all these void spaces in the ceiling. Here you see the truss system, floor system on the left-hand side. Out on the right, the multi-floors, all these hidden spaces that gives fire a place to spread to. Instead of the old 2x12 floor joists that give you a space this wide, however long the joist was for the fire to get, fire can now get in these systems and go from one end of the house to the other, between the two levels that can be undetected for a while. We're looking at engineered lumber. Instead of solid floor joists that support the structure well, we're looking at 3/8 of a thick pellicle board with a 2x2 on each side of it. These are your floor joists. And they all have big gaping holes in them. It's lighter weight construction. It's better for the builders. But it's contributing intensely to the way fire spreads to a structure and how hot it can get. The chart there on the lower right hand side in 2005, only 46% of homes use actual solid wood floor joists. All the rest of them are using truss or some other form. Or siding. Used to use solid boards. You're outside the house with solid boards. The actual subsiding on it was 1x6s or 1x8s. Now we've got vinyl siding or plastic. We've got cardboard or vinyl or foam insulation underneath that. All of these are extremely flammable and burn a lot quicker than a solid board will. Our windows. We're confining the fire into the house more with double pane glass. The glass won't break under the heat. And we're casing it with vinyl or plastic. All of these are enhancing the fire load in the structure. Our doors. Used to, all your room doors were solid core. It takes about an hour and a half for a solid core door to burn through. The hollow cores or the composite doors, they will burn through in less than 15 minutes. So the doors are no longer confining the fires to the rooms. These are all the things that the fire department are having to deal with, and the changing of what we do. Go ahead. New technologies in house. You've got solar panels on the roof or wind driven. You've got rooms that are full of batteries for your storage, for your solar power. All these things contribute again to your fire load that's in a house now that was never been, or in the past was not in the house. Homes are closer together. Typical lot in 1976 in a subdivision was 10,000 square feet. In 2012, it's 8,000 or 8,500 square feet. Homes, instead of being 50 feet apart, now can almost be touched in some areas. So you wind up with burns where you burn 5 homes at a time or 4 homes at a time. These were actual fire events. They burn so hot, they're so large, it's a challenge to stop them from moving from one to another. We're doing this. Go ahead. So looking at the fire formula for model homes, we got larger homes, we've got open spaces. The constantly evolving fire loads, we're changing and becoming more flammable every year. Lots of void spaces for the fire to travel. Building materials are changing. We're changing what we use. The composite lumber contains glues, accelerants. Our new technologies. And all this equals a faster fire propagation, a shorter time till that room or fire flashes over, rapid changes in the dynamics of the fire itself and how hot it's burning. This shortens our escape times for people to get out because the fire is developing so quickly. We have a shorter time till building collapse, which is making it less and less safe for firefighters to enter a structure to fight it. And by everything changing, we're constantly meeting new hazards. We just don't know what's in there. Just an overview, houses are getting larger, house lots are getting smaller. Over the last 50 years, we've changed what's in the house. We've created this vast load of material to burn in a structure. Home designs are more open. We've got less compartmentation. The materials themselves are extremely flammable or are changing. And from the fire side, our tactics that we use are having to change based on that. So how do we combat this? How do we fix this so we can save lives? Better building practices and code compliance. Making sure that the builders are building them to the current codes. We can't do nothing about the ones that are there. But we can ensure through code compliance and through builders who are responsible that these homes are building to code. The codes are constantly behind. Codes in Georgia and everywhere else are in a catch-up mode, trying to catch up because it takes 2, 3, maybe 6 years to get a code through the system. So what's happening today, what they're looking at happening today, will take 6 years to get into implementation, maybe more. I can tell you right now, the Georgia codes, Georgia has been enforcing the 2000 codes since 2000. This year, they're adopting the 2012 codes. That's how far the codes are behind. Early fire detection. Got to have smoke detection or fire protection in the home for early alert you that something's going on in that structure. Our prime concern in anything, what we do and what we preach, is everybody gets out. And our efforts, we have a smoke detector giveaway program here. If someone needs one, we try to make sure that they get a smoke detector, at least one to go in their house. We encourage everybody to check theirs regularly to make sure that it's functioning. It is so critical that you have that early warning. The other is rapid response and suppression of fires. Well, we're going to get there so quick. That's where fire sprinklers come in. That fire sprinkler is going to work. It's a fireman living with you constantly. It's there. Current codes do not require it to be in single-family dwellings, but it is available to put in single-family dwellings. My feelings of it is a big selling point for builders if they put these in their homes that they are building, because it not only is going to protect your life and save property, give you time to get out, it's also going to lower your insurance rates and give us the added time that we need to get there and completely suppress the fire. No sprinkler system is going to completely suppress the fire, but it is going to hold it in check until the fire department can get there. You know, anybody got any questions? What's your main cause of fire overall? Overall, I would say that here locally, what we have most of the time is would be a good mix between electrical and heating type incidents. We have a low incident rate of intentionally set fires here in the county. Other causes, cooking fires, are probably running about 15 or 20% of our calls. Most of them are either classed as undetermined or we deem them as electrical in nature. It's just kind of a broad prospect of, you know, of what we're running into when we're responding. Electrical's hard. Electricity gets banged for a lot of things it does not do. You know, fire started over here in the corner and there's an outlet there. It was an electrical fire. That's what a lot of people want to put it to. And it's hard for us to not rule it or to rule it out. It's there. It's a possible source. But unless, officially, as far as when we come to investigate a fire, if we cannot say for sure 100% that it started right there in that outlet or it started right there in that appliance, then the fire is ruled undetermined. All the causes that we think may have caused it will be listed in the report, but officially it's undetermined because we cannot 100% say it was that. So if we say it's electrical fire, we're pretty sure that it was electrical in origin. What we're going to do out here, we've got 2 rooms set up that Global has been very kind to set up for us. We have a couch in each one, a chair, a little table, fake curtains. What we're trying to show is how rapidly a fire will develop, and 2, how quick a sprinkler will suppress it. The first one will burn, does not have a sprinkler head in it, does not have a smoke alarm in it. We're going to allow it to burn for 2, 3, 4 minutes before we send the crews in to knock it down. The other one, we'll light it off and we'll see how long it takes for the sprinkler to activate. We do have a smoke detector in it, so you can see how quick or how early a smoke detector will also alert you. I will not make any guarantees. Fires do not burn the same every time. It may rapidly develop or it may develop slowly. A lot depends on humidity, weather conditions, your fuel load. We try to load it up as best we can. But I think you'll enjoy it if it works like it should. It's a real learning experience to just see how helpful or how important both smoke detectors and home sprinkler systems are to not only saving lives, but to saving property. It is not, like I spoke last year, it is not like the movie show. When that one head goes off, every head in the building don't go off. Just that one head. Just the one that got hot enough. These heads are set at 155 degrees that we're using today. The one head that's in there, when it goes off, if there was 100 in that building and only one of them got hot, that's the one that's going off. Every one of them not that. So you have to take the worries away that you're going to flood your whole house with one sprinkler. Sprinkler puts out between 18 and 20 gallons a minute. If we come in there with a hose line, we're putting out 150 to 200 gallons a minute. It's a big difference in water damage. for the smoke detector to go off. 18.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's good.
Now that at least I know
That keeps
how
us busy all year round.
The sprinkler is not extinguishing the fire totally. It is just keeping it from developing. It has suppressed it to the point that it will maintain that in the fire department. It was a little slow to develop the heat because the sprinkler went off for 3.5 minutes. That was 155.
fire's built for forever. It's going to maintain that. You're not getting any fire damage across the room. The other table's not burning. Cat. Yeah, it will work. It will work just about putting out. This room's small, so the water temperature is present. It's getting small. Yeah.
Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out today, and I hope you've enjoyed our program we've had, and we'll have it again next year in October. And the food is set up here. Please help yourself. You can take it back in the tent and sit down at the tables and chairs or wander around, anything you want to do. We've got barbecue and iced tea, sweet and unsweet, Harrison, and everybody help themselves. And thank you once again.
Hey, thank you guys.